Lahai-Roi might be over, but Wuthering Waves does not stop moving, my friends. This just in, they just dropped 6 brand new characters for the midpoint of the year. Wuthering Waves is on a roll, and that's right, my friends. We are heading over back to the land of Huanglong and Jinzhou, Mingting and Mengzhou. That's right, we have 6 brand new characters from the existing region, and this was the prediction I had. We were probably going to go back to that area, so I'm excited to see everything that they've dripped so far. It's not just going to include what we have today, but also a few teasers they've been handing out at the game shows as of recently, so I'm super duper excited to see this stuff. Leave a like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. Of course, I want to apologize, I did get sick again, so that's why I didn't upload a lot, but I know I gotta jump on this because this is absolutely bananas. 6 brand new characters coming in Wuthering Waves. Oh my goodness, let's do it. New Kuro Games logo I haven't technically seen yet.
Upon the abyss,
Oh,
Shuangfang holds stands. Engines within
the mechanical bird.
span.
It's actually a
Mechanic
Fraxita
birds
spy.
roam the land.
There she is.
Wind breaths send the lark song far.
Yangyang Xuanling. Wow, these are straight up character teasers, so they saved the
Unfolds.
area teasers for the other ones.
Draws near.
Suisui. She's really pretty. Oh, I saw a little detail there. Who are you?
Locked in the past, distance lingers long.
Suoming. All right. I think everything that they write on here is gonna be inside the photos I grabbed.
Into elusive depths.
Oh, hello there. We got our mail. Let's go. I'm pulling you for sure. Jingran. Yeah, it's just crazy how many characters they're pulling
Celestial
out.
sword guards the clouded pass.
Qingxiao. All right. One more.
Clear moonlight drapes the lonely keep.
And there she is. Sentinel Hsin. Or is it just her resonator? Who knows?
Where it lies, one may wonder. Oh, it shall
Oh,
reveal
mechanical.
itself to the one fated visitor.
And there they go with their little logo. All right, all right. And that will do it. I did not mean to click on that. I'm so sorry. Let's get that out of here. Okay, so that was the entire trailer, and there's not actually that much to chew on because before when they did this one, or well, technically not, we had like we had an idea where we were going, so we do actually have other trailers to look at, so don't worry, we have a lot of stuff to cover. But let's also look at these two. So we have 2 viewpoints into seeing both the new area in an animated form and then also actual gameplay. So this one is from the 2nd anniversary cinematic. I was aware this existed. I never actually looked at it though, because of course I wanted to save it for when I'm actually able to react to things again. But here we go. So this is the very end of it. Shorekeeper teleports us, and there it is. Is it Mengzhou? Is it Mingting? I think this is Mengzhou because Mingting is different. The only evidence for that is because Choyan sends the child off to Mingting, and like, you know, by the way, he's going to be really important to this upcoming discussion. And this is on like, this is floating in the sky, which I don't think correlates to a place that lies just out and beyond the mountain. So this is a great shot. We'll come back to this. Let me scroll just like a little bit forward, and then let's look at the other one. So this is not the only thing we have. We also, from the Xbox showcase, we have a actual in-game preview, in-engine content, which is awesome. So this one right here could be an engine. There's also a little detail there, and then flip and boom, this right here is gameplay, my friends. That is real deal gameplay. One detail I want to point out is that there's actually someone on Twitter who pointed this out, but they said, hey, Rover's model seems to be updated here. The neckline, and this is something I do know for myself, Rover's neckline has always been painted on to their shirt, and it's always been very awkward. So I'm like, oh, that's a little weird. But now their seams are nice and freshened up, you know, all that stuff. The textures have been updated. This one arguably could be the cutscene, and you know, even if it's rendered in engine, they obviously do get something nice and sharper to do these like sort of in-engine cutscenes. But now if I actually flip the camera, boom, this is gameplay. This is real gameplay, undoubtedly. No matter what you know, your opinions are on the game, this is real gameplay. And this, oh man, it looks beautiful. You know, Lahai-Roi is honestly, it's not my favorite aesthetic It's the, especially concerning like, you know, the main populated area. The snowscapes are fine, they're fine, there's no big deal there, but it was definitely not my favorite. And judging by what we're seeing here, this one might actually be Mingting because it's a little more grounded. There's a lot more forest. I mean, you see the stark contrast, right, between this image I have here and then also the image that we have from this one right here. This is probably Mengzhou, and we can support that by the characters who are also going to be coming out because they actually have regional names. So let's go ahead and actually talk about the characters now. But yeah, again, if you guys are enjoying this, leave a like and subscribe. I'll get back to content as soon as I can. There is mini excerpts for these. I'm gonna play some of this out. I don't imagine it's gonna be anything crazy though. Like, I imagine this is just gonna be, yeah, really just nice music in the background. Wow, look at her. So Yangyang is gonna be our only quote unquote Jinzhou character because of course she already is established in the game, and I am mixed on this. I just hope that they give this a good focus in storytelling, which is questionable for Wuthering Waves to even do because they've been hopping around a lot in terms of how quick they want their stories to fly by, which I'm not a fan of. Yangyang, of course, is their mascot. She's on the cover of the game, so it's expected that she would probably be getting some sort of more content in the future, right? Although this is specifically like a beta tester opinion for myself. It's just that I have never really been a fan of the idea for Yangyang when she had a good story already off rip in terms of the first beta test, and then they changed it, and then they completely downwatered the story for the first chapter, and then now we're here where she has a second form. So I mean, will I like this? Yeah, I mean, Yangyang is literally my profile picture, but I really hope they handle this story well because Yangyang has been changed so many times over the last like 4 years of this game being originally beta tested, where I got to try it, and then after the second reiteration and the third reiteration where she just kind of became a background character, or they really just wrote her out of the story entirely, which was silly because they didn't quite balance their story properly. That's why I'm kind of iffy on this. But yeah, you can see that everybody has a tagline. So nice job, popped out the tab. Okay, all right, let's get back in there. Okay, so yeah, you can see everybody has a tagline. So this is just like the Renacida marketing, except with the Renacida marketing, you could actually place it because, you know, we had an idea of what was going on in that situation. When it comes to this one, we only have like smatterings of an idea of what's actually going on in the upcoming region. So winds of breath send a lark songs far. Okay. Yep, this is exactly like the Renacida marketing. Just a quick quote, but this area indicator is very useful. So Jinzhou is going to be our only one. We have the Jinzhou symbol. We have Jue posing up, but now we get to move on to actually new characters, and this one is Suisui. So the fan unfolds, dawn of truth draws near, and this one is Mingting, and I think this might be our only character from Mingting as I scroll through the rest of them, but she is, ooh, she's pretty. I think at least there are other characters later down the line as we talk about it I'll be okay with skipping, but this character already I'm like, that's pretty good. And if we're judging these based off banner order, which by the way, if you remember, the Renacida drip marketing went exactly in order of the banners. As soon as they showed for Loba, she came out instantly, and then as soon as they showed Augusta and Yuno, who were the two next ones, and then they showed Choyen, and then they showed they showed Galbretta. So everything was pretty much exactly in order. So this tells me that, I mean, and it's no surprise that if we're trying to introduce the rest of not the rest of Huanglong, this is only like, 3 other regions of Huanglong, or 2 really, being put in, and then after that is going to be coming Suisui. So I mean, yeah, this makes a lot of sense for Yangyang to get us started, and then now we get to meet the rest of this the cast. But I really like her design. Her design is really cool. So that's nice. Let's see here. Did she have a video? She did have a video. I think we're gonna skip the videos here. I'll play them for you guys, but like, this is not gonna tell me much about the character outside of having a nice pretty animation and a highly necessary zoom in on their character. So yes, we saw that, and this one of course is denoted as Mingting. And if we move on to the next character, here we go. Who are you? I'll let the animation play out. I think the rest of these characters are Mengzhou. We'll see. Yes, okay. Suoming, locked in the past, the prisoner lingers long. Yes, so this one is Mengzhou now. And now we're starting to switch up a little bit because From here, not only does the character design feel very familiar, but this is where the region starts switching out and things become a little, the style of the characters becomes a little more technical. I guess you're not really going to see with the transition between Suoming and Suisui, but I think you'll see the significant difference as we get to the last three, because these three have some relevance in that sense. But if we go back to the trailer and the last line they're saying, it seems that Mengzhou seems to be pretty technologically advanced, and it seems to be like a pretty sky-high city in terms of, like, you know, where they're sitting at. It's very interesting because Jinzhou's not necessarily not technologically advanced. It's just that a lot of their resources are dedicated to warfare, so they're not really focused on, you know, like the academics of sorts. So that's what I'm trying to get for this vibe. It'll be interesting to see if this is like sort of like a, not necessarily science institute, but more sort of like high government situation. You know, so it's not, because we don't want to make it the same as the Lahai-Roi. We literally just came out of a space lab. I think it would be too much to go to the same thing. And then Mingting, by the way, we already know is a little bit of a tea village. So you know, and obviously once again you can see that the backgrounds are very different. So Suoming is interesting. Definitely the character I'm probably like willing to skip, but you know, it's Wuthering Waves. They're gonna make you want to pull for every character because they're too dang cool. But the biggest takeaway I get from this is that her design reminds me a lot of Yinglan. It's like, oh, because it's red and black, obviously. Well, yeah, it does. You know basic colors. I'm so proud. But yes, literally, the colors, and especially the extremely long hair. If you don't know, like, you know, freaking Yinglan has ridiculously long hair, and we don't actually, I don't remember if it was ever said what part of, you know, Huanglong Yinglan is from. You know, it's presumed she's Jinzhou because that's where she works, but you don't know. She's a spy. She changes her identity, so who knows. But it would be really funny, and mind you, I don't actually think this is gonna happen, but Danjin at some point was related to Yinglan, and then I think they may have changed that because they changed the characters a lot when it came to lore. And I mean, I've mostly discarded that stuff out of my memory just because, like, it's not relevant anymore. But it would be really funny if Suoming was part of Mengzhou. And also we get to see the Mengzhou symbol right there. It is the fox, and this is not a surprise to us at all. We had a feeling that the sort of fox or wolf, I'm pretty sure this is a fox, was going to be the sort of like a sentinel avatar of sort. And we've also known of Sentinel Hsin for the longest time, so that's kind of a no surprise. When I go to Mingting, yeah, so this is still ruled by Jue, which is actually interesting and kind of bleeds into the theory that, you know, for a couple things. Number one, I assume, at least based on the forested area, that, and I mean, this could be all BS, right? But Choyan fights Choyan fights, man, I'm literally forgetting his name. That's so depressing. Geshu Lin, he fights him in a bamboo forest. And the fact that this is under Jue's domain is that, you know, in Wuthering Waves, people traveling on foot is pretty difficult. When Geshu Lin was, you know, like having some problems, you know, one could say, he probably couldn't have run that far from the battlefield. You know, he probably ran into Mingting, and that's why they found Choyan found him there. So it's interesting that Jue is still presiding over Mingting, and I will see how much that actually matters, if like they really view Jue's presence, or they're just kind of like, yeah, like Jue's there, I guess. But I would imagine, especially majority of the area when it comes to Sentinel's presence, or at least the nation of Huanglong, is relatively respectful of their deities. There's not really any anti-deity deceit going on, you know, when it comes to you know, big players in the game such as Rinasida. You know, we have literally half of the islands of Rinasida don't even respect the deity, so that's funny. But yeah, that one's for Suoming, and we're gonna move on to the rest of the Mengzhou characters. We got this guy, the only guy, and the guy I want. I would definitely take this guy because I want more male characters. Come on, Kuro Games, what are we doing? But Jingran, into the elusive depths, the longer treads on, and we'll get to the full art here. And nice. But yeah, no, he looks great. You know, he's got like a little bit of a lantern. He probably either, you know, is an adventurer or, you know, a skirmisher, some sort of situation where you're just kind of trying to just go into the depths. He can tread my elusive depths. That's hilarious. Diox sweating emoji. Yeah, no, 2 men per year. Okay, Cherry Boo. But nah, this is cool. I like this. Oh yeah, also for the last character, they said she is a 4-star. I am also willing to say that this guy could be a 4-star too, although with how rare men are in Wuthering Waves, he's probably going to be a 5-star, or everybody's going to be a 5-star, because Wuthering Waves doesn't know what a 4-star is, and that's really stupid. They should fix that. But either way, yeah, no, I like his design. His tacit mark being a scar over his eye, he's got heterochromia as well. That's awesome. Yeah, but I like it. You know, obviously he does have some aesthetics which lean into you know, being, you know, from, you know, effectively fictional China. He's got the coins, he's got the talisman, you know, he also has this wrapped around you know, his clothes and belt. So this is all very still within their design philosophy of what they're doing in that area. But I also do appreciate that it is relatively, you know, quote unquote simple, right? It's a shirt, you know, and they decide to give him a little bit of a pit window because why not? They gave him a hoodie and, you know, like just like a nice normal jeans and like a funny looking you know, the male fantasy of wrapping your jacket around your waist and thinking you're part of Star Wars. But yeah, no, this is good. I like this design. Hopefully he's interesting. Maybe he's a 4-star. Just kidding, he's not. I could probably do element predictions after. We can do that one after, but we still got 2 more characters to go through. This one is outside of the next character is going to get everybody. I mean, come on now. When the Sentinel is here, it's very hard to compete, but Qingxiao, I have high hopes where I think she's going to be fine. The Celestial Swords guards the Clouded Pass. So once again, now we're talking about clouds. So obviously you're probably part of Mengzhou, which is probably this area. I'm just a shadow to guess, guys. It's in the clouds. The Cloud Sword Guardian, I don't know. Just a thought, but yeah, this is cool. And once again, Mengzhou, you see the Mengzhou symbol. This is probably the best way you can see it because lighter colors are easier to see the outline. But yeah, no, this is great. This character looks awesome. This is something that, you know, I think most people will like in terms of like you know, what generally popular character designs go. But we've got, you know, the extremely cut open Chinese dress, and then we've got like ice swords of sorts, or maybe they're wind swords. See, she does seem to be flying. I expect this character to float, or at least have some air combos. She could be ice type because ice type is technically condensation, or glacial, I should say. But wind definitely seems to fit you better if that's going to be the case. Goodbye, GN. It was nice knowing you, buddy. But yeah, no, this character design is pretty good. I don't have too much to say out of it outside of like, you know, cloud horns. This is the design I've seen before many times. You know, another character, but this character is very pretty, and I know. Yeah. Just look at this. Like, look, bro. They want her, bro. They want her. So, where's her tacit mark? Does she have one? Probably on the back. Yeah, I don't see it anywhere. Oh wait, no. It's in her hand. Oh, cool. All right. That's pretty neat. All right, and now for the biggest reveal of all time, and this is probably the most important one. That's right, we have a named Sentinel on our hands. This is not the first time that this character has been name dropped, and now they finally have been revealed, and it is very interesting that the character design they chose. Clear moonlight drapes the lonely keep. You're not going to be lonely after this one, ma'am. Arf, woo. But yeah, so preliminary ideas of Hsin is that basically all that we knew is that they have white hair, and that's it. It's like, wow, really? White hair after the other Sentinels Resonator had white hair? That's crazy. But this is really interesting because not only is this the person who's now officially confirmed to be on Mengzhou, but also it's literally just Hsin. It's not any extra stuff. You know, like Jinshi is not Jue, right? There's no like, this could be either the Resonator, or this could actually be the god-given physical manifestation, which is going to be super interesting, and I can start diving into my theories after that. But I mean, this character design, it's pretty good. Like, usually this is the kind of character design that gets me, but honestly I do think it's a little bit over the top, especially concerning, you know, characters who have already been sort of or not really like hardly established, but like, you know, like there's like an idea already formed in your head about what this character might be. I always assumed that it was gonna actually look like a beast, because every other Sentinel has been some sort of beast. Chewie is a dragon, sorry, Imperator is a horse, and then, I mean, well, Lahai-Roi doesn't count, but still, you know, yeah, we were expecting that it was going to follow the legend of the 5 beasts, which, if you don't know, that's kind of a thing that kind of fundamentally builds Jinzhou and then Huanglong's full character set. And we were expecting that there are at least a few more, or at least Sentinel beings or Sentinel-like beings that would be following this set. And I mean, it's pretty close. It's not out of this world, but yeah, this is a pretty interesting character design. I think the most, I wonder, are these gold plates here, are they actually attached to the dress? They could be, because there are dresses that exist who have you know, gold platings that rip off the side, but this dress has the gold lining and then flows into actual gold plating on the edge, so that's super cool. Where's her tacit mark? I don't see it. No. Okay, so it's probably, maybe it's on her, you know, maybe it's on her back, or it's on her neck, or maybe it's somewhere that we're not expecting. Don't check. But anyway, yeah, so this is the entire character lineup, and I mean, I gotta say, pretty freaking cool. If I, you know, I'll give my opinions on who I'd personally want to pull off rip, but this is a really good character lineup, and this puts us, you know, I think, we don't know. I mean, I hope one of these characters is a 4-star. If it's gonna be anybody, it might be her, because we do desperately need a 4-star. And if these characters introduce something like a new mechanic or anything, I'm guessing that aerial combat might be a big deal for these characters. You know, I could definitely see, obviously Yangyang already she has a really cool plunge attack. She doesn't have air combos, but this could be the opportunity for her to like ride on a sword or something. And then same thing with Suisui, I could see you flying. These two characters are more grounded, although you have a parasol, so maybe you can do something. He probably sits on the ground. And then these two, if she doesn't fly, we're doing something wrong. And then this is literally a god, so she could probably also fly, so that's cool. But so especially when it's based around this area, I have to imagine that the characters are going to have some sort of moveset similar to Changli, Jinshi, and Luke, where they have a significant portion of air combat pushed into their kit. And if they don't, I mean, I don't know, we're doing that. But you know, outside of that, Yangyang, I mean, I don't know, she's arrow right now. I don't even know what like second form characters really like entail for like the rest of the game. Like, the easy answer is to say like Spectro, Glacio. I don't know. Yangyang, I don't know, because I have to imagine they want to change her attribute and not make it the exact same thing, which would be really boring. But Yangyang is one I would really want to go for. Suisui, this has got to be a Spectro character. She's literally blinding me. I can't see. She's so bright. So I don't know about that, but this is Havoc coded, although Yinlin's Electro, so who knows. This guy, I have no idea. I don't know. He could be Arrow. I could say he could be Arrow. We are slightly lacking in that department. Her, like I said, Arrow or Glacio. And then you, I don't actually know, because the wolf is supposed to be what on like the wheel? Like, I think it would be, you can't be Spectro, I'll guarantee you that, because if two Sentinels share the same power, that is weird and also a trap, because Mengzhou and Mingting are only two pieces of the puzzle. There's still half of Huanglong to conquer, in the sense of like Huanglong is undiscovered still. So it would be really stupid to make your Sentinels all Spectro. And speaking of, so one of the theories that I've had for a long time when it came to the Sentinels is that it's really weird that Jue is named the Sentinel, but then there's clearly like so many facets of Huanglong, which again, Huanglong covers the entire region of, you know, Wuthering Waves China, which had 6 other regions all governed by different people. And you can already see this is that Mingting and Mengzhou are obviously big hitters. And then apparently, you know, like even Choyan says like, oh, the general sent me on this mission and then they were killed. So like, yeah, like Huanglong is fucking huge, right? So my theory has kind of been is that there is actually a central sentinel of the entirety of Huanglong, and it's just that they must have created like a sub sentinel, or at least like a lower being of sorts that is able to govern this large of a continent, because the fact that there are already 2 sentinels named inside Jinzhou is fucking crazy. Because how did you pull the Thermodian of War to come and pull up to your doorstep only for them to leave afterwards? It's like clearly there's some larger game being played here when it comes to the, you know, cosmic powers that rule the world of Wuthering Waves. So that's kind of my theory, is that Hsin and Jue are going to be are actually just smaller sentinels that came from like a bigger one, because it needs to be some sort of like thing that they're a master of. And time is already a really big one, but I do wonder if it gets bigger in the sense, and I wonder what Hissen's power is going to be, because I mean, she's got to have something. She's got to have something strong if she's already been name dropped as a sentinel way early on. But yeah, I mean, these are awesome character designs. I want Yangyang. I want Suisui. Suoming, maybe you're a 4-star. I mean, maybe it'll get you passively. I definitely want this guy. I can see myself skipping you if your moveset is not interesting. And then it's the Sentinel. Come on, man. It's probably a pull, although I would be comfortable with skipping this as well. But you guys can all let me know who you want to pull in the comments, because wow, this is a ridiculous amount of characters. My goodness, this is so crazy what we have here coming up in Wuthering Waves. I'm really glad I got to wait to see every single trailer, you know, in bits and pieces, and not have to make a big live reaction video for just these like 5 seconds of clips, because now we can kind of put all the pieces together and see where we're moving next to in Wuthering Waves. You got, of course, our good old like extremely forested area of Mingting, and then also Mengzhou itself being high in the clouds. So this is gonna look like a lot of fun, and honestly it looks amazing. I mean, Wuthering Waves, come on, man, they can't stop cooking. Just when you think they gave you a break after this current patch with Cyberpunk absolutely destroying everybody's funds, and now it's like, hey guys, new update. Also, the update's shorter, so guess what, this update 3.5 is coming really soon. It's way closer than you think. There's only 4 weeks in the Cyberpunk patch, so listen guys, get ready. We're about to start getting hit with news like crazy. But that's gonna be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I'm sorry that I am now sick for about a total of 3 months, so it's been rough for me to try and make videos and really just do anything you know, with any of the games, you know. But I mean, I'll try my best to get back in the groove of things. We have a lot to catch up on, but just give me time for me to actually recover my voice. And in fact, I've actually spent my voice here. So speaking of, we're going to go ahead and close this out here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out the content, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.